today's trip takes us to Woodstock. We're off to see my buddy Jay. He's got a early 3rd gen Camaro, which used to be set up for drag only. And so I'm assuming it's gutted, and it's got some rust issues, and apparently he cut the front subframe out of it, or part of it. I'm not sure. I guess it was pretty rotten, and he's hoping he can fix it. I told him at worst we can learn to weld on it and use it for practice, if anything else. Apparently he got the body for free, so I'm not sure how much of the car he got for, you know, how much is there, but I don't even know if it had an engine in it. So everybody's got their older cars out today. I've seen about 6 just since I left the house 5 minutes ago. And then this afternoon, if I get time, I'm going to look at another car, check that out. It's not in bad shape. Well, it doesn't seem so.
Here's the story. A buddy of mine a few years, well, about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, what year is this one?
89.
Oh, it's an 89. I thought it was an 84.
No. So a buddy called me up, and he said, my other friend, Jason,
yeah,
we do all the car work together. He's got an 85. But a buddy calls us up and says, "Hey, Jays," he says, "anybody wants a car? I got a car for you." And I said, "Well, I love a car. It's a Camaro, right?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Unfortunately, I didn't have any cash at the time, but I was cleaning out my basement."
Yeah.
And I said to the guy, I said, "I got no cash right now, but joking, not unless you want to trade for a couple of old computers." Well, he runs a communication shop, and he was looking for some servers. And I had a stack of IBM machines sitting on my workbench to get rid of.
Oh, that works.
So I traded even for this thing.
Oh, nice.
And it was, the guy that had it was building it for the drag strip. Okay.
Oh.
So he had gutted the interior.
Yeah.
He had, this engine was in it. This is the TPI engine.
Oh, that's the factory motor, eh? Look.
So that's the factory motor.
Yeah.
But he had the headers on it. It's got full Protronics distributor, flamethrower ignition. I got the computer with the performance chips in it. But the harness in it was just a bird's nest. Like, he had all the plastic removed. It was all spliced and moved and everything.
Yeah, he's probably eliminating stuff, eh?
He got rid of the heat. He got rid of the air conditioning. But it got to the point where he was cranking it, and it would turn over, and you could hear it, you know, and it just wouldn't catch.
Yeah.
And I was only able to get it running once.
Yeah. Where it was actually running?
Yeah. Well, idling. As soon as I touched the gas to do anything, it shut down.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had this. I've been building this for 3 years, just waiting for the right old car to come along. Right?
There you go.
So anyways, I pulled this out, and as I did, there was one wire that went from the alternator to the computer.
Mm-hmm.
Right in the back of the firewall, I had a butt connector in, and it fell out, just as I had the engine lifting out.
Yeah, that could have been it, eh?
So anyways, but it's a good thing because the battery tray and everything, well, here.
So what's this one?
That's a 350. Actually, a friend gave that to me. He was building it and then cleaning out a shop. He gave me the block and everything, like the bottom end.
Yeah.
Out of a I think it was a mid-90s or mid-80s RV. So it's got the high torque cam and everything in it. And then I got 305 heads on it. I was trying to bring up the low end compression just for, you know, around town stoplight stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's got 750 Holly carb on there. I think it's a 650 Holly carb. A new distributor, new everything for it. So I've got it all done. I just got to tighten the valves, and then I'll pick this up and we'll throw that in it.
Is that noisy or quiet?
That's a noisy.
She'll make noise, that's for sure.
He's got the same thing in his car. So anyways, that's going in it. But
well, that's a far better motor than that one.
yeah,
The 305 heads will make it really snappy.
yeah.
It just it'll peter out after 6,000. But how often are you going to rev it that high?
It won't hit the top end.
Yeah. So.
And the other thing I picked up is because this had the computer controlled like fifth gear
Yeah.
on it, right? The TCC lockup. But what I picked up is a vacuum switch. There's a place in the States makes the vacuum switches.
Yep.
So I can hook that up to this. So when it hits 8 to 10 pounds vacuum, it'll throw it into fifth
Yeah.
for the highway.
Yeah, that's an easy workaround, that is.
But what I found is this side was okay. But here underneath,
Yep.
well, I'll show you what they cut out. I wasn't sure. I was going to go cut the frame off his old 85 Firebird because it's in good shape.
Yeah.
That was the bottom of it.
Oh, yeah.
So anyways, Jason, my buddy, works at Nova Steel.
Yeah.
So he said, before you go and cut into another car, give me the piece. And he went and he gave it to his metal fabricator up at Nova Steel.
Yeah.
And he did that.
Well, that's not bad.
So he put that together. I got to put a little patch there still.
The weak point is going to be this.
Yeah. So I'm going to put some plate on each side. So there's meat to attach to. But that'll fit almost even on there.
Yeah, I definitely. So I would do 3 holes there, 4 holes there, a couple there. Oh, that one's already been.
I put that in there because it was I found it was rotten in behind.
Yep.
But
It's still got a.
well, that's what I found while I was attaching it. Is it's still rotten back in there, and it blew through right here at this corner.
Yeah.
And there's a spot back here. This is along the pinch weld. So really, what I want, Ken, I'm new to welding. I picked up a welder to tackle this thing,
Yeah.
but I don't know the settings very well on this thing. But I'll show you a couple other spots. I've been amassing parts. I've got a full interior. I've got a full headliner. I picked up a brand new ABS headliner for it.
Yeah.
But see here.
I was gonna get on. I was gonna bring the bike, and then I thought, screw it. It's easier just to jump in the car and head out.
Yeah, it's a nice day.
God, there's tons of bikes out though.
We go along here down to Burwell, right?
Yeah.
Burwell, Dover. Front rad support
Yep.
actually rusted. It turned to dust at the bottom. So I got a new rad support. I'm not new. The one off is 85 Firebird.
Yep.
Needs a couple small spots and that'll fit right on. But I got a welded lip around here. So I just cut that and put some 90-degree stuff around it.
Mm-hmm.
But down in here, where is it? I'm concerned about up around the strut towers.
Yeah. It's not too bad. It's flaky, but
The other
it
side.
looks like this has already been fucked with, eh?
Yeah. It's right in here. You can see it's through a bit. And then
You know what I would almost do?
Bondo.
No, I cut this off. I cut the whole thing off, the whole frame and everything, and just toss it. And I'd make a new subframe for it. I know that sounds crazy, but like they make them so you can model it after somebody else's design or whatever. But
I've seen you can get the front like the tubular frames for it. So
yeah, that's basically build your own.
are they street legal?
Yep.
Huh?
Yep. Oh yeah. And well, the tubular front subframe is 10 times stronger than that. Like this is just really sheet metal bent and spot welded together.
I thought it was going to be an easier project until I started getting into all this stuff.
Yeah. Like it's had patches in a few places,
I did
eh?
that.
Did you?
There was a patch here on top of here that was through. So actually we put a good heavy plate right there because it was only like that.
Oh yeah.
But you can see, well, if you look over here in the wheel well.
Yeah. Well, I can see there's another hole there too, eh?
What's that?
There's another hole along there too.
Yeah. Is there?
Yep.
Oh, here?
Yep.
Yeah. You can see here in the wheel well.
This is pretty rough for an 89, eh? Somebody must have abused her.
I've got the,
Oh yeah.
so you can see the guy just covered it with all the rubber shit. Eh?
Yeah.
Like,
I would not use that. The whole thing's rotten. I've seen other guys come in, and the guy bought a car, had it, and it was safetied. And he came into the shop, and the strut towers were, somebody had done this in the back of the car. So the car was sitting like down, like in the back like this. Yeah. He's like, yeah, it rides really rough. I lifted it, so I opened the trunk, and the strut towers were literally sitting this high above, and the only thing holding it in was they were sitting against the rear pillars.
Okay. Let me show you the back end.
So it was pretty rough. And if that breaks when you're driving, that's a very bad thing. You're gonna have a bad day.
My keys are in the car.
Like, I think you're almost better off to.
Because if you look here, he's done the floors.
Yeah.
I gotta scuff them a bit. But here.
Did he weld them in?
No. The other side's riveted. Looks like.
No, it's got to be welded.
Yeah.
Yeah, must be. It's not even an option.
And then here, he brought that exhaust, this side exhaust.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Down there, up and over the drive shaft, and down out there. So there's 2 holes like that at each side, or one at each side.
That's weird, eh?
It's.
So you can't see it from in there, or no?
You can see it underneath there if you. I can empty this out.
Oh no, it's all right. I'm just trying to figure out.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a new one. That one's there's not much I can do with it. The body panels are all in good shape, and it had a fresh paint job on it. It's been sitting outside, but it just needs to be scuffed and cleared again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll lift the stuff out so you can see it.
Yeah. The problem is, if you ever put it on the road, Jay, if anything happens, your insurance is gonna bone you. Because as soon as somebody inspects that car, they'll be like, never should have been on the road.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even let my kids ride in that.
It's that bad, eh?
It's that bad. Like, I'm not trying to kill your enthusiasm, but
see in the wheel wells here, he's got
there's.
So I got the tires back on it, but he's got the same sort of thing up along in here.
Yep.
Rubber here.
Yeah, it's. Was it all completely together when you got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be hard to see all that, eh?
I got a painted subframe, painted K-frame and everything for the front that I acquired. I was just getting ready to put in, but I was taking all that stuff off so that I could see underneath it first.
There's a guy near me in London. He's on Highway 2, and he's got tons of these sitting out back.
Yeah, I know him.
Do you know? Have you talked to him?
Cook. Yeah.
He's right at the road that goes back to Dorchester.
Redline Automotive there.
Yeah. Well, she's a pretty rough project. Not completely undoable, but I think it's more than Jay was bargaining for. This whole thing has been mucked up, mudded, and full of shit, holes everywhere. Fortunately, that mess can't be factory. Yeah, it's not. This whole front subframe is toast. So Jay's car ended up that the entire car is rotten underneath. Somebody actually used the sides off a tin shed to make new floor pans on it. So he's looking to get a new set of, he's actually looking for a complete roller, or he's just looking for a shell to build on. He's found one that he might be able to get pretty cheap, so we'll see how he makes out with that. And as you can see, that's Ryan in front of me. He is back in the saddle. His pelvis, from the fractured pelvis, he's still moving a little slow, but he said he can ride. I got the bike all back together yesterday. Yesterday was kind of a marathon day that I forgot the camera. I worked all night, and then I worked all day, and then I did the brakes on the truck here. We're in the Ram, so I did the front brakes because the shutter was so bad. The run out on the front rotors was at 50 thou. It was crazy. So no wonder it was shuddering so bad that it would almost throw your coffee out of the cup holder. And it's still there a little bit, so I'm gonna swap the back ones out next week. Might be just a little, they might be, if they're in anywhere close to the same as the front ones, they're pretty much toast. So Ryan's bike, we got it all straightened out, straightened all the frame itself was good. Just the one horn on the right side was bent in, maybe about, I don't know, maybe about an inch. So managed to straighten it all out with a big pipe, and got everything bolted up. I didn't really mess with the fender too much. I used the bike and the struts to pull it back into line, but everything's nice and straight. The bike rides nice and everything. I think it's going to need new bushings in the triple tree for the bars, because the bars are kind of sloppy in there, and maybe we'll get some polyurethane, or I'll make some at work, but then they'll be solid. We'll lose the isolation. But as you can hear, runs pretty good. Of course, we got a wet day. We waited until it was decently hadn't rained for a bit and starting to dry up, so but his bike runs good, nothing else was bent, everything's working good. So I think he got off lucky, extremely lucky. The other deal I was working on for another car actually fell through because they wouldn't give me what I wanted for the truck. It's good to see him riding again. I am paranoid, and I can see that he has drastically slowed his roll since the accident, when he was, in my opinion, getting a little too horny on the throttle. But I'm glad to see he's back on jump back on the horse, and even if it has slowed him down, it's probably for the better. So we'll have a quick look at the bike when we get to the shop. This thing spins, so it's not fun. And you're trying to get your fucking foot on it, and your foot slides right off. Yeah, I imagine. This isn't fun. Still loose? Yeah. Well, she's all back together. Looks good. Looks half decent anyways. It's rideable. I have to get the bugs out.